What's up, guys? So this is my car right here, 2005 Toyota Camry SE. And why am I showing you guys my car? Why am I getting my car? Why am I making the video in my car about my car? Because this is why. Because God showed me a really deep lesson this weekend about materialism. I think cars are one of the number one thing that people are materialistic about. Like, if you look on the road and you look at the amount of new cars on the road, the amount of cars that people are definitely wrapped up in payments over on the road, it's ridiculous. As followers of Christ, we need to be careful with these things, because these cars are cool, do not get me wrong. I've been obsessed with cars like ever since I turned 16. I had friends that spent so much money that they put into their cars, which, yes, they made them look really cool, but they just spent so much time and money in it. And I really became obsessed with cars myself, but my parents have always made me be very diligent with money and saving money and not blowing it on stupid things. So I never went out and bought some crazy car. Like, look, I got this Camry, bro. And I love this car. This car has done me very well. It's got me to point A to point B. It's been a real blessing, bro. And I've really loved this car. But recently, I started looking for a new car. And I drove all the way, 5 hours away to go look at this car. Thought it was cheaper than it really was. No, that really was some magical price that they posted online, but that was only a discount price, and it was a whole game. You know how car salesmen are. But basically what it taught me is, like, I was almost going to spend so much of my money on that car just because I liked it. And yeah, it was going to be cool for like a week. I loved that car. But then a week later, it was going to be no different than just driving this car around. Like, oh, what? I got CarPlay and I got my phone on here. Like, what difference does it make, dude? What difference does it make having these material things? And you can apply this to things other than cars. What difference does it make? You spend all this money, all this time into these things, all your time of work. Like, dude, the amount of money that you save up to buy these cars, not to mention how much more it is because you guys are financing everything else. You guys are financing these cars. You are tying yourself in debt to these cars to where you're literally a slave, constantly working a wage to pay for your car. Do you not see how ridiculous and how much of an idol that is? Like, that's actually insane, bro. You could get so much of a cheaper car that does just as well if you would just quit being so materialistic. And not to mention the fact that if you crash the sucker, it is literally the end of the world, because then you have to deal with insurance, which is also another pain in the butt, because they are a pain in the butt. And then you got to deal with the people suing you maybe with the whole insurance thing. And then you have to deal with trying to get the car fixed. I don't know if you have full coverage or not, but it is a literally like the end of the world, because you put so much money and so much of your everything into that stinking car. So I love cars, guys. Do not get me wrong. I will always be a car guy, and I'd love to in the future buy me a cool car, but it should not take your everything. We should not be financing these things, y'all. We should not be putting our everything and our complete identity into these cars. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is a fantasy in our head of imagining ourselves driving this car, and oh, it's just our identity is in Christ, bro. Quit putting it in material things and what clothes you wear and what car you see yourself driving. No. You're a follower of Christ at the end of the day, and that's all that matters. Get yourself a good car that gets you to point A to point B. If later on in the future you get money and you can afford to get yourself something that you think is cool, then great. But don't put your entire livelihood into this. It needs to be in God.